Pulmonary oedema, patient gasping, pink frothy sputum, 1 IV injection of furosemide within minutes. Breathlessness improves, preload drops, lungs start clearing. That is the power of diuretics. Today, we master oedema and diuretics. Nothing skipped, everything clear. What is OEDEMA? Complete clinical understanding. Before we talk about drugs, you must understand the disease. Oedema is not just swelling. It is excess fluid accumulating in the interstitial space. Let us go slowly. Oedema develops when hydrostatic pressure increases, for example, in chronic heart failure. The heart cannot pump effectively. Venous pressure rises, fluid is pushed out into tissues, or oncotic pressure decreases. For example, in liver disease, low albumin, less pulling force to bring fluid back, so fluid stays outside vessels, or sodium and water retention occurs. Kidneys retain sodium, water follows sodium, plasma volume expands, or renal function is impaired. The kidney cannot excrete salt and water properly. Now understand this very clearly. Diuretics remove sodium, plasma volume falls, venous pressure falls, oedema reduces. But the choice of diuretic is critical. Wrong drug, wrong dose, serious consequences. Now we go class by class. Overview of diuretic use in oedema. In chronic heart failure oedema, thiazides are often used. In low doses, thiazides are also first line for hypertension. In pulmonary oedema due to left ventricular failure, loop diuretics are first choice, especially intravenous administration. In chronic heart failure, loop diuretics are widely used. Now, an important clinical principle. If one diuretic fails, do not just increase endlessly, combine classes, especially loop plus thiazide. This is used in resistant edema, but caution. Very vigorous diuresis, especially with loop diuretics, can cause acute hypotension, rapid plasma volume reduction, renal impairment. This must be avoided. Always monitor. Thiazides and related diuretics. Let us understand mechanism first. Thiazides inhibit sodium reabsorption at the beginning of the distal convoluted tubule. They are moderately potent diuretics. After oral administration, they act within 1 to 2 hours. Duration is 12 to 24 hours. Always give early in the day. Otherwise, nocturia disturbs sleep. Now, hypertension. Low-dose thiazide gives maximal or near maximal blood pressure reduction with minimal biochemical disturbance. High dose causes more metabolic changes, hypokalemia, hyponatremia, hyperuricemia, hyperglycemia, but gives very little extra blood pressure benefit. That is a classic exam point. Preferred thiazide-type agents in hypertension are chlortalidone, indapamide. These are considered first-line thiazide-type choices. Now let us examine individual drugs. Bendroflumethiazide. Bendroflumethiazide, used in mild to moderate heart failure, licensed for hypertension but no longer first line for hypertension. However, stable patients already controlled may continue it. Chlortalidone, special features, longer duration than standard thiazides, can even be given on alternate days. Useful if rapid daily diuresis may cause acute retention. Also useful if patient dislikes altered urination pattern. Under close supervision, it may be used in stable patients with ascites due to cirrhosis. Indapamide. Indapamide, claimed to lower blood pressure with less metabolic disturbance, less worsening of diabetes compared to traditional thiazides. Metolazone, very important, metolazone, highly effective when combined with loop diuretics, even works in renal failure, but can cause profound diuresis. Severe electrolyte imbalance possible, requires very close monitoring. Now, some thiazides with no special advantage, hydrochlorothiazide, hydroflumethiazide, benzthiazide, clopamide, they offer no major advantage over others. Loop diuretics, these are powerful. Main indications: pulmonary oedema due to left ventricular failure, chronic heart failure, resistant edema except lymphoedema and venous stasis. In acute pulmonary edema, intravenous loop diuretic relieves breathlessness rapidly. It reduces preload, reduces pulmonary congestion. Interestingly, improvement happens faster than expected from diuresis alone because of venodilation effect. Now, resistant oedema. If oedema is resistant, combine loop plus thiazide. For example, bendroflumethiazide or metolazone, but do not use loop diuretics in lymphoedema, oedema due to peripheral venous stasis, oedema caused by calcium channel blockers. In hypertension, loop diuretics may be added if resistant hypertension, impaired renal function, heart failure. Now, adverse effects. Loop diuretics may exacerbate diabetes, though less hyperglycemia than thiazides, trigger gout, cause urinary retention and enlarged prostate, less likely with small doses, Key loop drugs, furosemide, bumetanide. They have similar activity, oral onset within 1 hour, diuresis complete in 6 hours, can be given twice daily, IV furosemide peak effect in about 30 minutes. Diuresis is dose-related. Also, toracimide, similar to furosemide and bumetanide, used for oedema and hypertension. Potassium-sparing diuretics, amiloride, triamterene. On their own, weak diuretics. They retain potassium, usually used with thiazides or loop diuretics. Alternative to potassium supplements. Never give potassium supplements together with these. Dangerous hyperkalemia can occur, especially if combined with ACE inhibitors, ARBs. Always monitor potassium. Mineralocorticoid receptor antagonists. Spironolactone. Spironolactone mechanism antagonizes aldosterone. Potassium-sparing uses, oedema and ascites due to cirrhosis. Adjunct with furosemide, moderate to severe heart failure, low dose. Resistant hypertension, unlicensed indication. Primary hyperaldosteronism, Conn's syndrome. Before surgery or long-term if surgery not suitable. No potassium supplements with spironolactone. Eplerenone. Eplerenone licensed for left ventricular dysfunction after myocardial infarction with evidence of heart failure, chronic mild heart failure with LV systolic dysfunction. No potassium supplements allowed. Fixed combinations. Better to prescribe separately, but may help if compliance is poor. Not usually required in routine hypertension unless hypokalemia develops. Other diuretics. Mannitol. Mannitol, an osmotic diuretic used for cerebral edema, raised intraocular pressure. Mercurial diuretics, effective historically, now almost never used. Reason, nephrotoxicity. Acetazolamide. Acetazolamide, weak diuretic, rarely used for diuresis. Used for prophylaxis of mountain sickness, but not a substitute for acclimatization. I-carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, dorzolamide, brinzolamide, used in glaucoma. They reduce aqueous humor formation. Diuretics with potassium, important. Many patients do not need potassium supplements. In combined preparations, the potassium amount may be insufficient, therefore discouraged. Never combine potassium-sparing diuretic with potassium supplement. In children, prescribed separately. Clinical Master Summary. Pulmonary oedema IV loop diuretic. Resistant oedema loop plus thiazide. Cirrhosis ascites spironolactone first. Post-MILV dysfunction eplerenone. Cerebral edema mannitol. This is how you think clinically. Not just memorizing drugs. You must understand where is the fluid problem, what is the mechanism, which class corrects it safely. That is how a pharmacist thinks. That is how a clinician thinks. If this lesson made it clear in your mind, like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe, because we learn medicine properly here.